Back here at home, infectious disease experts, baby formula inspectors, livestock disease testers, park rangers, bank regulators, IRS refund agents. Oh, there's more. Drug addiction and cancer scientists, all fired. And Elon Musk is just getting started. Cuts across our federal government on everything from who inspects your steaks to the scientists who want to ensure your prescription drugs are safe.
It's a lot going on. These jobs clearly do seem crucial and life-saving. So how is Elon Musk and that DOGE department he's running, how they're making these decisions on how, where, and why to slash and who gets the axe? Well, our senior Washington reporter, Will Steakin, has been digging into this entire process, reporting on it. Will, welcome.
Thanks.
You know, what have you seen? Is there method in this madness?
I think they would say, Elon Musk and DOGE would say there's a method. I think what you're seeing take place is essentially what he did at Twitter and what else Silicon Valley companies do at their own companies. This is move fast and break things. And, you know, the plan right now is to have DOGE in every single agency, at least the ones that they're targeting. And we're hearing that's upwards to 30 is what they're trying to get into. And so they're meeting with the agencies. They're trying to figure out what needs to be cut. Obviously, they have their opinions. There's these clashes with the folks at these agencies, these longtime government employees. That's playing out. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, they're going to cut as much as they can. And what pops up that, you know, people that are screaming, saying, you know, this needs to be saved, they're going to make the determination if that needs to actually be saved or not.
You mentioned this is what Musk did at Twitter. He's running things like a business. Can you run the federal government like a business?
Well, I think this is like the question I think Republicans have been asking and arguing for, at least some for decades, that the government should be run like a business. You should have a CEO at the head. Well, now you have, you know, a businessman as president, and you have the most successful businessman next to him. And they are effectively turning the federal agencies into using them like Silicon Valley startups. They're gutting them. And this is exactly what he did at Twitter. You know, at Twitter, he cut 80% of the staff there. And they basically turned the credit cards off at Twitter. And they said, okay, what needs, you know, when they turn the credit cards off, who's asking for help? They went and assessed it and see what needed to be turned back on. And that's apparently saved them a ton of money.
And it's still working in such a delightful way. And so I do want to ask about transparency here, right? So the question of when you're working with government, you're talking about proper authority. You're talking about responsibility, who can be held responsible, and do they really know what they're doing? In other words, it does seem, for example, this first tranche of firings, it's all probationary employees because they don't have civil service protections, but a lot of them have been promoted or transferred from, it's not 23-year-old kids. They are firing some people who are very important. So is there transparency on what they're doing?
Elon Musk has says there would be maximum transparency, but what has actually played out is, you know, before this all started, he promised weekly podcasts updating what he was doing. He promised on his website it would be live updates of what was being cut. That's not played out. We had one podcast, we had one event like a few weeks ago, and a lot of what we're learning about who's being cut, where the firings are, is from reporting. It's reporters like we have here at ABC. They're not putting that out there. And so, you know, I think he's promised that will increase. They do have a website now. But, you know, to your point, I think, you know, the main team of DOGE is being run by a lot of 20-something-year-old engineers. These are very smart people, though. These people, some of them have like won awards. They're obviously very smart, but they don't have government experience. So the idea is you partner them with people in government, and hopefully that will work. But those people are clashing right now, and so that's what's being played out.
When will we know if this is even working? We talk about businesses where new owners come in, they cut and they slash and they rework things and bring in other people, get rid of other people, which is what we're seeing here at the beginning of that. But when will we know, okay, this was painful, but I see the payoff?
So there's a drop-dead date for DOGE in the executive order that President Trump signed. It's July 2026. So they essentially have another year to get this right. Now, Elon Musk himself initially promised $2 trillion in cuts. He's walked that back. Now I think it's like $1 trillion. We'll see if he keeps walking that back. But I mean, he'll have another year to figure out what they can present to the American people as progress. I do know from talking to people close to Doge, they are eventually going to try to pivot from slashing and cutting to building. They want to present new ideas, new forms of how to structure government, especially internally, new systems. So I think we will eventually start seeing them show that work, and that will be up to the American people if that's what they want.
How involved are the lawyers in this? You walk into a company, you're hired as a consultant, sure, you can cut anything you want. Every office, every position is established by the people's representatives passing laws in Congress, okay? Elon Musk is, one of the world's richest man, obviously a brilliant businessman and engineer, but does he have the authority? Who's pulling the trigger to actually do all this?
Well, the White House is saying he's not even a part of DOGE. I mean, obviously he's deeply a part of DOGE. He's, they're saying he's a senior advisor. I think they would like to imagine it as there's an advisory role, and DOGE is going into these agencies. They actually, when you talk to them, they're staffers at their individual agencies. So the people that go into CFPB or the Social Security Administration, they are actually hired on that team, but they represent DOGE. So that's how they would argue it's being structured, and that's how they're able to get around some of these things. But there's still clashes, and all of this is being played out in the court. A lot of this is being blocked, and so we'll have to see where the courts land. But yeah, a lot happening.
Flooding the legal zone.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Great to have you, Will.
Thanks so much for having me.
That's how we came to doing this discussion, is because of all the notes you put out, doing the reporting and the digging, and trying to weed through, and you've been bringing us transparency. So thank you, Will.
Thanks so much. Big team effort, though. Big team effort.
Thank you.